Today kicks off a huge week on X-Play. We go hands-on in the studio with Mortal Kombat vs. DC Universe and dish out brand new Saints Row 2 cheats.
Then we have the very latest on a Little Big Planet sequel, plus Fallout 3, Left 4 Dead, and merch too. X-Play starts now.
X-Play is TV's most watched video game show, by the way, yet we are still illegal in some states. Very sad. I'm Morgan Webb.
And I'm Adam Sessler. We're coming to you from the G4 studios in Los Angeles on Monday, October 27th. Now coming up, the man behind one of gaming's most notorious franchises is here to demo his latest title. Legendary producer Ed Boon is here with an exclusive Mortal Kombat vs. DC Universe demo.
Plus, we will talk to the team behind Prince of Persia and find out how the game's bold new look was created. Then we rub elbows with Hollywood folk at the Fallout 3 launch party. And of course, it is Monday, so Kristen Holt is here with a new Saints Row 2 cheat. But first, I think we should get all of today's top headlines in our gaming update.
Little Big Planet, complete with 100% less references to the Quran, will finally hit store shelves tomorrow, and the servers are already up. Even better, there's already talk that a sequel is in the works. A recent BBC News report on British game developers has revealed that the team at Media Molecule are already at work on the sequel. The report also mentions that Sony is in talks with Media Molecule to turn Little Big Planet into a franchise that could spin off into cartoons, action figures, or even comic books. So far, no official statement has been released regarding these rumors. Following the reveal that the Gretel E3 format will return, the ESA has announced that E3 will remain in Los Angeles for the next 3 years. According to website Edge Online, the city of LA expects next year's E3 will have an $18 million economic impact. In the wake of plans for a new E3, the IDG World Expo has announced the cancellation of E4All. Instead, the firm has partnered with the ESA to work on E3 and is encouraging former E4All exhibitors to participate in the new E3. Next, interesting political news in the world of killing people for money. A new rumor is sprouted from Pandemic's Mercenaries 2 forum board that leads many to believe that new downloadable content will offer gamers a chance to gun their way through the game as presidential candidates. X-Play has learned from anonymous sources that new DLC could be released in November. Now, we have since contacted Pandemic for an official statement, but their only response was that they could not comment on any rumor or speculation. I'm pulling for Bob Barr, because that's the mustache of a killer. Finally, Activision and Red Octane celebrated the release of Guitar Hero World Tour with a huge launch party. The event was headlined by Guitar Hero-themed drinks and none other than the Smashing Pumpkins. Lucky for you, staffers from X-Play were so close to the stage, they were able to smell the breath of lead singer Billy Corgan while capturing these front-row photos. Guitar Hero World Tour is on store shelves now. That's it for today's gaming update. For the latest news, be sure to check out our website, g4tv.com/xplay. But now let's go over to Morgan, who has been known to yell "finish him" at social gatherings.
Only when I'm done. As much as you might love Green Lantern or Captain Marvel, these DC characters will never get their own games. However, they do get some love in a mega crossover that's so crazy, even Secret Wars 2 is sitting there wondering how it's going to work out. We're about to go hands-on with the game that puts two universes on a collision course. Mortal Kombat vs. DC Universe brings two worlds together for the deadliest tournament this side of Outworld. This epic crossover features new combat mechanics, dynamic environments, online gameplay, and the use of the Unreal Engine 3. With new fatalities, brutalities, and hard-hitting mid-air combat, you'll be yelling "finish him" in no time. Joining us today for this special look at Mortal Kombat vs. DC Universe, the legendary Ed Boon. Thank you so much for dropping by.
Thanks for having us.
Do you like being called legendary?
No.
Or is it a little weird?
No, it's a little weird.
All right, so give us the gist of this game. You know, Mortal Kombat plus the DC universe. How did that happen?
You know what? When we started doing a Mortal Kombat, next generation, we thought, we want to have as much different new stuff as possible. This is Mortal Kombat 8 for people who aren't counting, and so we really wanted to just introduce as many new elements as possible. One of our marketing people came to us and said, "Hey, how would you like to have Batman in the game, Superman, Wonder Woman, Flash?"
So how do you work on balancing issues? Okay, because for example, Superman. How do you beat Superman?
Yeah, that's the first question everybody asks. I think that obviously somebody who can move a mountain fighting against Liu Kang or somebody like that, it's kind of hard to imagine them fighting. But
and in the comic books too, they often invented powers for a certain situation.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of people don't really realize that Superman, one of his weaknesses is kryptonite. His other one is magic. Mortal Kombat. The whole universe of Mortal Kombat is surrounded by sorcery, magic, all these kind of crazy spells, and so that kind of evens Superman back up. It's one of his weaknesses, and that the story mode explains it thoroughly. When you go through the story, you get an idea of why he's that.
Now, there are still fatalities in the game.
Yes.
But not exclusively.
That's right. All the Mortal Kombat characters have fatalities, all the DC villains have fatalities, and all the DC heroes have brutalities.
Because they wouldn't kill somebody.
Exactly. So if you notice after they do the finishing move, the person's still kind of moving on the ground because they're not quite dead.
So we'll describe maybe Superman's brutality and how this is it just sort of, it's less violent than a fatality?
It's intense. It certainly is intense. Superman has two brutalities. One, he pounds the opponent into the ground, and then you see them kind of, squirming as their head's sticking out of the ground. And another one is he freezes the opponent, flies up in the air with them, and then you see their frozen body shatter on the ground, and then he lands on top. It's actually pretty brutal.
I know, that sounds pretty brutal.
So it definitely has the feel of Mortal Kombat, but, again, Superman doesn't kill, Batman doesn't kill, the Flash doesn't kill. So.
And we're going to recognize all of the Mortal Kombat characters that we love. Are they all going to be there?
The big ones, yeah. It is like from the Mortal Kombat side, you can almost think of it as Mortal Kombat greatest hits. Liu Kang, Baraka, Sub-Zero, Scorpion, all the kind of the classic ones from Mortal Kombat 1 and 2.
And let's talk about the combat system. Are we going to be very familiar with it, or have there been some changes?
It's a brand new combat system.
Brand new, but I just learned the old one.
Yeah, I think you'll feel somewhat at home. But there's a lot of great new features we're excited about. You can grab your opponent into like a close combat, and you can actually it's kind of like a boxing type style of move. It's really intense, and then you can fall while you're falling off one arena to another. You're fighting as you're there's like a whole fighting mechanic involved with that, and it's a much more like user-created combos. It's a lot less of like the button sequences, and a lot more of you can do special moves at any point in the combo. It's really very expansive combo system.
So is each character going to have more than one fatality and brutality?
Yes, every character has two fatalities or two brutalities.
And then how is using the Unreal Engine changed the game?
It's helped us with our presentation. It's really there's like a very photorealistic look that we weren't able to get before. Our arenas are huge. I mean, the Batcave is like this 3-layered arena with 3 fighting areas, and there's a lot of destruction that we can do with it. So it's a lot more things that we couldn't do before we're able to really expand on this time.
Oh, so this game is, of course, all about playing against each other. What are we going to be able to do online and multiplayer options? Online's
really excited. I think one of the things that we're most excited about is the fact that it's like this lobby that you kind of hang out in. You can send messages, you can see announcements of this, Morgan beat, ad or something like that. And then, so if you see somebody winning and you see, oh, he's got 10 in a row, you go after them.
Oh, you're going to go after that guy.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a real, like, kind of competitive. We like to think about it as like the feeling that people got when they were playing in the arcades, way back then. You see somebody the king of the hill, you want to take them down. And so it's really kind of tailoring to that.
All right, we can't wait. When are we going to see the game?
It's coming out November 16th for the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360.
And thank you so much for coming by. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for having us. Appreciate it.
All right, let's head back over to Adam.
Hardcore Prince of Persia fans, who I'm presuming are emos, were shocked to discover their long-haired sullen prince has been replaced in the series' latest iteration. In fact, everything's changed. It doesn't look like anything we've seen before. And as you'll see, that's a very good thing. of Persia makes a flying leap on the shelves this winter with a brand new look, and we went straight to the source to find out more from producer Ben Mattis.
Prince of Persia has a very unique visual identity. It is one of the first things that people notice when they see the game. Certainly it's the first thing you notice when you see a screenshot or when you see a video is, wow, that looks not just unlike the previous Prince of Persia games, but ideally unlike any game I've ever seen before. We don't want people to look at it and say, wow, that's kind of like Tomb Raider, but with a prince instead of Lara Croft. We want people to be able to look at a screenshot, even without the prince in it, and say, that's Prince of Persia. No other game looks like that. They immediately recall the experience of playing the game from a single static image.
And although you'll spend much of your time in the air, Prince of Persia stays grounded in a world of fantasy.
This is a fantasy game. It's got a fantasy storyline. Not fantasy in Dungeons and Dragons, Orcs and Trolls kind of fantasy, but fantasy in that it's a world of magic, it's a world of myth, it's a world with this fantastic storyline. And we really wanted our visual identity to dovetail that. With that, we wanted a visual identity that really sort of embraced the fantasy heritage of the franchise and this particular game.
It's no secret that simple ideas carved from the imagination can grow into giant inspirations.
In the past, we've released illustrations that we've done on the project to our fan community as just sort of, little gifts and little things to keep the fans sort of motivated and excited about, the game and build buzz. So we had this wealth of these concept artists and illustrations. So this time when we set out, our artistic director, Mikhail, sort of set for us as a project this challenge of let's try and make the game look like the illustration so that while you're playing, you literally have the sensation of playing a living painting, of playing a living, real-time moving illustration that really fully communicates the magic inherent in these fantastic drawings.
Coming up on X-Play, Kristen Holt has Saints Row 2 cheats and is definitely guilty of intent to distribute. She's got the stuff to make you king of the streets. Plus, we step inside a Vault Tech event full of celebrities. Join Blair Herter as he talks Fallout 3 at the game's official launch party. Then, get ready for the fight of your life. You'll see what it's like to play as the bad guys in Left 4 Dead. The mayhem continues right after this.
If you dig this, then you dug this, cause I'm all about the nerd life, word life. If you dig this, then you dug this, cause I'm all about the nerd life, word life, yeah. G4X Play.
Welcome back to X-Play. Saints Row 2 isn't really for people that walk the moral high road. It's for the people who like to break things, make people cry, and of course, cheat. Kristen Holt is here with all the codes you need to break the rules.
Most cheat codes dish out extra cash, unlimited ammo, or invincibility that would make Superman blush. But in Saints Row 2, the real fun codes cause havoc for the entire city. Anyone interested in raining pedestrians?
You can get into plenty of trouble in Saints Row 2 without cheating, but then all these cheats would go to waste. And we wouldn't want that, so listen up. Let the people of Saints Row get a little crazy with the Drunk Pedestrians cheat. Just dial pound 15 on your phone, and next thing you know, the streets are full of stumbling, belligerent people. But watch out, they're angry drunks. Or how about toning down the forces of nature? Just dial pound 18 for low gravity. Gravity's always been holding you back, but no more. You can now leap over cars with nothing stopping you. While you're already messing around with nature, try the Raining Pedestrians cheat. Dial pound 20 and watch out for scattered human showers. And everything is better in miniature, right? Fun-sized candy bars, baby animals, mini marshmallows. So logic would tell you that shrinking everyone in the game is a good idea. Just dial pound 202. And don't worry, you can always compensate by driving a really big car. Dial pound 728237 to unlock the Destroy UFO. Take that bad boy for a spin and watch the little people down below start to panic. And finally, why settle for a regular explosion when you can have super explosions? All you have to do is dial #7. So do us a favor and put these cheats to good use.
Be sure to check G4TV.com/cheat for the latest tips and tricks. Right now, I'm going to send it back over to Adam and Morgan.
All right, well, the horrors of a nuclear apocalypse don't really feel like anything to celebrate. Everyone can definitely get behind the idea of blowing off someone's head with bats.
It's like a cantaloupe. Fallout 3 is out tomorrow, and to welcome it into the world, a vault was brought to life in Hollywood for a huge launch party. We sent Blair Herder where he hooked up with the game's voice talent, Cyclops, the Chili Pepper, and this guy who's been trolling the X-Play office all week.
What's up? I'm in downtown Los Angeles, hanging out with the only dude here who's wearing a bigger codpiece than me at the Fallout 3 Hollywood launch party. Giant red carpet, tons of celebrities inside. We're going to talk to people that made the game, talk to people that play the game, talk to some people that you're probably going to recognize.
We are celebrating the launch of this video game in downtown LA with a ludicrously big party.
I'm here just to see if there's any hot girls here, I'll be honest.
Tell us your role in the game.
Amada. She's really great because she's just kind of there to help everybody. She's going to help you throughout the whole thing.
I am not a big gamer. I love it, but I realize that when I start, my life would be over.
I'm a mediocre gamer. I'm above par gamer. You know, I don't obsess. I don't blog.
Well, I love those kind of games where you can just run around and go nuts, get different weapons, and blow people to pieces. If all the violence were in video games, it'd just be a nice world to live in.
I've knocked people over playing video games before.
It's pretty spectacular that it gets this kind of turnout.
I'm still looking for the hot chicks. Hey, I'm David Arquette, and you're watching X-Play.
X-Play's world premiere Tuesdays continue tomorrow night at 8 with Resistance 2.
We got exclusive new footage of the game, an inside look at the sequel's epic campaign, as well as the chaos of 60-person multiplayer.
And next week, don't miss our Gears of War 2 special. It premieres at a special time, Monday night at 8, followed by an encore on Tuesday.
And we've got a very special Gears 2 treat lined up that you won't see anywhere else. Do not miss the Resistance 2 special tomorrow night at 8 and Gears 2 next week. Now, when X-Play returns, we take the role of zombies and see what it's like to attack the survivors in Left 4 Dead. Keep it here.
Yeah. G4 X-Play.
See the future of gaming. X-Play, TV's gaming source. Next, only on G4.
You know, late at night, I'm at home in bed spooning that thing. Anyway, welcome back to X-Play, home of sweet, delicious brains. Left 4 Dead is a fast-paced zombie shooter with a twist. In the game's Versus mode, you get to play as the infected, bloodthirsty villains, and are able to do fun things like wait in shadows or vomit on the heroes. As a bonus, when you barf on your friends, no one yells party foul. Here's your first look at the undead action. Left 4 Dead recently infested San Francisco for Valve's latest brain-busting announcement. A 4v4 versus mode that finally lets you get a mouthful of medulla oblongata.
So in Left 4 Dead, the way the versus mode works is we take a campaign, say No Mercy. We take each of those 5 maps of that campaign and we say, okay, the first map, we've got the survivor team. They're going to try to reach the next safe room, and the 4 boss infected controlled by players are going to try to stop them. So if the survivors either are wiped out by the infected or if they make it to the checkpoint, the safe room, then the 2 teams switch sides and it's revenge time. Then those teams play through to the same checkpoint, and you go on to the next map and do the same thing.
To help Team Infected tenderize the survivors, Valve has given your squad of cranium crunchers some disgustingly delicious abilities.
So we have the Boomer. He's a hugely obese guy, full of gas, basically. And if you shoot him, he explodes. He also can vomit. If any of that goo hits you, it totally attracts the infected to you, and only you.
Makes you a trap
We have the smoker. It has a 50-foot long prehensile tongue. You can throw it out there, lasso you, pull you way out of position. The hunter, really stealthy, so he can sneak up behind you and then pounce on you and pin you to the ground. And again, you're totally helpless. The only way to save yourself is if your teammates come and help you out. And then the big boss is the tank. He's a hulking 900-pound beast made of muscle who bashes down walls and throws things around. The exciting thing is in versus mode, you can play all those guys. It should be a lot of fun to see how people like to eat each other's brains.
My stomach's growling already.
Tomorrow on X-Play, World Premiere Tuesdays continue with X-Play's Resistance 2 special. Witness the epic single-player campaign and stare in awe at the colossal scale of the bosses as we reveal exclusive new footage. Then we'll show you how your friends can enlist in the battle against the Chimera with an unflinching look at the 8-player co-op. Plus, it's full-scale war online as we pull the curtain back on the massive 60-person multiplayer. And later in the week, we review some of the year's biggest games: Fallout 3, MotorStorm, Pacific Rift, and Midnight Club Los Angeles. Plus, on Wednesday, we'll talk to the father of modern video games. Tune in for our exclusive interview with Nintendo's Shigeru Miyamoto. And be here for the world premiere of the new Killzone 2 trailer. It all starts at 8.
More X-Play is coming up next.
Yes.
Thanks
Watch
for
it.
watching.